Hey guys, how are you all doing? I hope you're well, and today I'm going to be doing my Orcust test hand and deck profile. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this. So with this hand, we will set Orcust, Orcust Crescendo, Phantom Knight's Fogblade. Then we will summon Rocket Tracer. We will link Rocket Tracer into Striker Dragon. We will activate the effect of Striker Dragon to get Boot Sector Launch. Activate Boot Sector Launch. Activate Striker Dragon. Destroy Striker Dragon to get Rocket Tracer back. Activate Boot Sector Launch to summon Rocket Tracer again. Activate Rocket Tracer. Destroy Boot Sector Launch. Then to get Rocket Recharger. Then we Synchro Summon into Chaos Ruler. Trigger the effect of Chaos Ruler to mill our deck. With this, I'm going to add Gyasu, and then we pass turn. Okay, then we go on to our second turn. We normal summon Gyasu, that's why we added it. Trigger Gyasu. Do not trigger Fogblade. Fogblade is to protect us. Now we send Orcust Nightmare to the graveyard. Trigger the effect of Orcust Nightmare. It doesn't matter which one we send. Or which one we target. Send World Wand. Activate the effect of World Wand. Banish it. Special summon Orcust Nightmare. Then we link summon into Galatea. We trigger the effect of Galatea, shuffle World Wand back into the deck to set Orchestrated Babel to our field, which we then activate. Then we trigger the effect of Orcust Symbol Skeleton to get back our Gyasu. Then we can rank Galatea up into Dingyasu. Then Dingyasu would pop a card on the field. And then we attack with Chaos Ruler. Gyasu and Dingyasu. Dingyasu can also attach a banished machine card as material, for the record. Orchestrated Babel makes our Orcust's quick effects, so we banished Orcust Nightmare to send World Wand again. Then we can activate World Wand, special summon Nightmare again. Also we have the dangers, so we may as well activate them. because you want your Orcusts to be in the graveyard. So that's why we have the dangers. Now we can link summon again into another Galatea. Activate Galatea again. Shuffle World Wand back into the deck. Set Orchestrated Return. Then we activate Simple Skeleton to get Orcust Nightmare. To link these two into Longiasu. Activate Longiasu. Put our two simple skeletons back in the deck. Activate Orcust Nightmare again. Target Mech Knight. Send World Wand. Rank up Longiasu into another Dingiasu. We can trigger Dingiasu to attach Orcust Nightmare material in this case, but normally you want to be popping when you summon Dingiasu. And then we attack for game. That's pretty much the combo. You always want to end on like a Dingiasu or something. So, without that being said, let's get into the deck profile. So we run one copy of Danger Bigfoot. We run the Danger package to get our Orcusts in the graveyard for if God forbid we draw them in our first hand. Because you want the Orcusts to be in the graveyard at all times, as well as World Wand. Speaking of World Wand, we run two copies of World Wand. World Wand, if it's normal summoned or set, it can't be destroyed by battle with a monster special summon from the extra deck. But if it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one World Legacy monster from your hand. So if you have another World Wand in your hand when it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon another World Wand. Or you can banish this card from your graveyard and then target one of your banished Orcust monsters, special summon it. And then you cannot special summon monsters except dark monsters for the rest of this turn. But luckily, every monster we run in this deck is dark. We run one copy of Nessie, 3 copies of Orcust Nightmare. Orcust Nightmare cannot be destroyed by battle with a link monster. You can banish this card from your graveyard and target one face-up monster on the field. You cannot special summon monsters except dark monsters for the rest of this turn. Also send one dark machine monster from your deck to the graveyard except Orcust Nightmare. And if you do, the targeted monster gains attack equal to the level of the monster sent to the graveyard times 100. It's just a way to get our World Legacy World Wand in the graveyard to really extend our combos. Next up we also play a small rocket package, because the rocket package can help us out if we brick. So we run one Magna Rocket. You're not really going to be activating the rocket's effects except for maybe Tracer. Run 3 Orcust Mech Knights. If this is normal special summons, you can send one Orcust or World Legacy card from your deck to the graveyard. Then, if there are 2 or more cards in this card's column, treat this card as a tuner this turn. Also, if you control no other monsters, you can special summon one World Legacy token. Machine Dark level 1 to both players' fields in defense position. You can only use each effect of Gearsu the Orcust Mech Knight once per turn. Run one copy of Dark Grapher. Dark Grapher, you can special summon it from your hand by discarding one level 5 or higher dark monster, and once per turn you can discard one dark monster, send one dark monster from your deck to your graveyard. It's a way to get Orcust Nightmare or World Legacy World Wand in our graveyard. Run 2 copies of Rocket Tracer. If you play Dragon Link or Rockets, you should know what this does. Run 1 copy of Armageddon Knight. If when this card is summoned, you can send 1 Dark Monster from your deck to your graveyard. Run 1 copy of Recharger, 1 copy of Tsushinoko, 2 copies of Symbol Skeleton. Symbol Skeleton, you can banish it from your graveyard and target 1 Orcust monster in your graveyard, except Symbol Skeleton, special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Dark Monsters. We also run a small Phantom Knight package, and that consists of Ancient Cloak, Silent Boots, and Shade Brigandine and Fogblade. We run 1 copy of Jackalope, arguably the best danger. Run 1 copy of Silent Boots, 1 Brass Bombard. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon 1 Orcust monster from your hand, except Brass Bombard. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except Dark Monsters, and you can only use the effect of Orcust Brass Bombard once per turn. We run 1 copy of Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion, we pay 1,000 life points to special summon Millennium Eyes Restrict, and then Millennium Eyes Restrict acts as a Called by the Grave. A second Called by the Grave. So, yeah. We run 2 copies of Orchestrated Return. Send 1 Orcust or World Legacy monster from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard and draw 2 cards. It's the only draw card we run, because it helps us get Orcusts in the grave, which we like. We run 1 copy of Rota. Rota just searches our Armageddon Knight or Dark Grapple. Run 1 copy of Foolish Burial because we need our Orcusts in the grave. Run 1 copy of Monster Reborn as an extender. We run 2 World Legacy Successions. Target 1 monster in your graveyard, special summon it to a zone your link monster points to. We run 1 copy of Called by the Grave to negate hand traps. Run 3 Quick Launches to special summon our rockets. We run 1 copy of Orchestrated Ironstats. I probably butchered that. If your opponent normal or special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can take 1 Orcust or World Legacy monster from your hand or deck, and either send it to the graveyard or banish it. You can only use it, and it's once per turn. That's why we only run 1. And it's a continuous spell, so we only need 1. We run 1 Boot Sector Launch for our rocket package. We run 1 copy of Orchestrated Babel. It makes all Orcust effects quick effects, which is good. We run 1 Shade Brigandine. Shade Brigandine, if you have no spell traps. If you have no traps in your graveyard, you can special summon it straight away as soon as you set it. We run 1 Fogblade. Fogblade, you can activate it, target a monster on the field, negate that face-up monster's effect, and that monster can't attack, but it also cannot be targeted, so it's like a double-edged sword. And we run 1 Orcust Crescendo, and it's the main counter trap, and while you control an Orcust Link monster, if a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated, negate the activation, and if you do, banish that card. And you can banish this card from your graveyard, add one of your Dark Machine monsters that is banished or in your deck to your hand, and you cannot special summon monsters to turn you activate this effect except Dark Machines. Run 1 Millennium Eyes Restrict. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls or in their graveyard, equip that target to this card you control. This card gains attack and defense equal to the equipped monsters. Monsters with the equipped monster's name can't attack. Also, their effects while on the field and activated effects are negated. So it's another Called by the Grave. Run 1 Chaos Ruler. Chaos Ruler, we synchro summon it to excavate the top 5 cards of our deck, and if we do, add 1 excavated light or dark monster to your hand. Also send the remaining cards to the graveyard, so it mills. And you can banish 1 light and dark monster from you. Its second effect isn't important because we don't run light monsters. Run 1 Borreload Savage, 2 Dingirsus. Dingirsu can either pop or attach to a banished machine monster as material. Run Arc Rebellion for OTK potential. We run Raiders Knight to actually go into Arc Rebellion. We run Boral Sword. Long Gearsu recycles 2 banished machine monsters, and you can send 1 linked monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. Run 1 Unicorn. Run 1 Bardiche. 2 Galatea. You can target one of your banished machine monsters, shuffle into the deck, then you can set 1 Orcust spawn trap directly from your deck. That's how we get our Babel out half the time. We run 1 IP and 1 Striker Dragon. Anyway, that being said, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.